fuse kit again. It's Shocks who sometimes, I think it's Shocks who sometimes has Fashion Shocks as his name. And indeed it's the high explosive grenade, which appears to be in fashion at the moment. And I like it, I agree with it, I'm with it, I am it. It's a great start from MBK, that's the information play for his team. But connector can always be an issue. Shocks, I do wonder what will happen if he's standing here when the door is open, because it will open towards him, or will it open in... Ooh.
That shouldn't happen though, should it?
Reddit, please. Somebody put that on Reddit. I wonder if that will change in Source 2. Gotta love Counter-Strike, eh? It's always been that way.
No. Wait, cast.
All right, well, Kenny's going for the pot shots on the A site. Only good for the one, but perhaps he's bought enough time for his team. They're a man down at the moment. The bomb's getting planted for toilets, and toilets are being covered. Nico is a toilet cleaner today, and he may clean NBK out of the round. No, NBK with more one-taps. G2 looking sharp coming into the second map. Body still got the HE. It is selected, but where will he throw? Woo. Down goes NBK. Body with no Kevlar. And does he go for the hero play? Oh, a headshot immediately by Carrigan. And Carrigan will wait for no man. Finishing the job off, Yanko.
Yes, that kill on MBK was sick. Side pre-fire, but I believe it's ever since that update where, you know, the edges were fixed so that your gun doesn't stick out through a wall. Shouldn't that apply to this?
That's a good point,
situation?
actually, yeah.
That's what enables you to hide in like cache towards B in those corners and so on.
Yeah, well, hopefully somebody...
I think that's
somebody
bug.
puts that Reddit.
I don't think that should happen.
I will
Maybe
email
it's because of the surface, because the surface is wall bangable.
Whatever it is, I'm sure they'll fix it if we send it to them. I remember, like in 1.6, you know, I feel like if you had a crappy graphics card, sometimes you could see through some boxes and things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see just because your graphics card was crap. That's what I had in some like custom maps. So anyway, through graphics card failure, you end up seeing more than you should. Halu has a gun to collect, but he doesn't know if it's safe to do so yet. Very smartly going past the angle before he picks up the weapon. So, you know, his mind is balanced. He doesn't have greed. G2 doing great work with the pistols at the moment. Carrigan's in an important spot, but surely one of these CTs is going to check their six eventually. That's one down. See Carrigan repositioning, so he makes it harder to be double peaked in case somebody's longer from us is in toilets. Again, it's the small things that make great players. Carrigan trying to run away desperately, but that's not going to work out. Kishima, he's got 2 to kill. NBK with 4 kills in this round, looking for his ace.
Kishima has to run all the way. He won't have enough time to plant the bomb, get to the bomb site. On top of that, still has 2 players to deal with. Very difficult situation. This is unwinnable now. No way he can win the round. Can't get to the bomb site in time. Is going to... What? Okay,
and there's the ace for NBK. I
think he wants to make it all 5 Deagle kills.
Free kill at the end of the round.
But yes, a great round from MBK, obviously getting the ace with the Deagle. Kind of question, FaZe going in almost 1 by 1 at the time, but not much you can hold against them. G2 had a stack there and FaZe just made the wrong call, ran into that stack, got punished for it. They're right back into the force by themselves. 5 Deagles across the board, smoke on Carrigan, smoke and flash on Alu. Let's see if they can find a couple of 1 Deags of their own.
I like to call this the butcher buy because 5 Deagles, they're looking for meat shots on these players. 2 nice meat shots. It's really annoying though when you get 2 meat shots in and you do 96 damage with the Deagle. That's really frustrating.
If anything, Nick always goes for the head.
That turns out to work well for him.
Woo!
And there we go. Speaking of headshots, yeah, absolutely. Very patient play from Rain. But that's just the 1 kill for the T's in this round. Kenny's got the long range towards long. He's got support for toilets as well, but he will be exposed if he extends to his right too far. His teammate won't be able to cover him, so he has to be careful. In the meantime, there are 50 seconds for the remainder of FaZe to make a play. They've got a smoke. There is a CT towards Monster there. It's a lovely, another 1 shot there from Rain. Can the rest of the team clean up Shocks? causing problems, trying to buy time. You see Kiyoshima forcing the issue with the UMP. Shox has finally gone down, and now the plant leaves Kenny alone in a 1 versus 2. He's running, they'll hear him. They can set up accordingly for double peek. Kiyoshima can peek first, and then Kagan can come out as well. It's doable for Shox in a sense that both these players are tagged, but indeed the double peek is there. Karrigan getting good timing, and another force buy is one.
He walked past the gun.
He did.
And he didn't pick it up. You could see him pulling out the USP, so he got the call that the FaZe players are low. It would make more sense for him to pick up the rifle or the UMP. I'm not sure what it was. Regardless, FaZe do get the round straight back and the control of the economy. You can see pistols across the board for G2, save for Apex, who has that UMP. Let's see how FaZe approach this round now after losing the previous endpoint, right?
Well, this looks pretty good, to be honest. I mean, you see 3 players, well, 2 making their way up long. It would be nice to see more up long. It's always scary as well when you send loads of players towards the connect area, but I was able to pick off Shox, who was taking a look aggressively as to what FaZe were doing, but now he's lost, and it falls on to Mr. Apex, next closest man. Seeing there, try to play the shadows, the classic position for a forward smoke here. And can play around this box as well. Ooh, straight through the smoke. Rain will easily serve him up. And slowly but surely, FaZe are making the kills here and getting onto that bomb site. So they've averted any kind of disaster. There's no disaster. There's no catastrophe.
Yeah, I think we've seen quite enough of them in this one game, in 3 rounds. NBK Deagle ace on the force buy. And then FaZe deagling straight back, stealing the AWP away. It's been a crazy few rounds. It's been a crazy few rounds. I think most of us favoured G2 for this one. But right now, it's up in the air. They're not going to have a good start to their CT side, it seems, after giving up this one.
Has definitely been an explosive start to the game, but we would expect nothing less when these 2 teams face off. And I'm interested to see how things will look like when we actually have a proper buy round for both teams. And see if G2 is still very good at those mid-round aggressive moves. Well, he does find 2 kills towards the end of the round, applies pressure to the economy of FaZe, but it's not going to matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, considering how G2 has another eco round ahead. This is where FaZe should really try and not lose any rifles, besides Karrigan, who is kind of a scapegoat, has just a MAC-10, going to run in first, get some information for the team.
This is like, you know, a good opportunity to stock up money for winter. The hard times ahead. So definitely agree with you there. And so far it looks pretty good. Karrigan, wow, he's finding a lot of money here. 3 kills with that MAC-10. Is there any more to be had? Oh, there you go. So a very lovely amount of cash there for Karrigan in that round with all the MAC-10 frags. 9 kills actually at the moment as well. 4-1 the score for a FaZe, as G2 now have a bye. So that's what you wanted to see, Yanko. Perhaps we'll be lacking some incendiaries, but other than that, it looks good for G2.
That is probably going to prompt them to go for that mid-round aggression, knowing that if a late round execute comes in, they don't have the incendiaries to fight it.
Bought off grenade.
Let's wait and see. The barrel grenade. Best grenade. Most damage.
What's the Yanko grenade? Does she have a grenade?
I have an anti-flash on Inferno. Sick. Library.
Yeah, that smoke is good because it stops. It makes it a lot more harder for the T's to burst by trying to walk through the smoke, flash over the top, and then suddenly there are 4 people on B. Okay.
Oh, you hate to see it. Just a random shot through the smoke, not even a particular lineup. And Apex falls down to the AK of Nico. And now, 5v4 situation for FaZe. G2 probably needs to take a risk here, and you can see them moving towards toilets. Actually, it's just MBK. Kenny's holding long range with the AWP. 50 seconds left on the clock.
Smoke from the barrels landing on the site. The barrels near the top of the stairs leading towards B. 3 G2 players left, and Apex has got to be frustrated in how he was eliminated. But what can they do? They're still around to fight for. Shox playing around the smokes, using the sandbags as some protection, but he's forced to move back. You see the T's swarming around the site. Will there be a rotation, though, from the CTs? Kenny's still focusing on long A at the moment, and Body's making his way in. Shox has spotted the bomb, but he hasn't seen the pair on the smoke. Manages to get 2, and again, he's buying time for his team. They need to move into the site now. Play getting tagged, I think it's Kiyashima, on B, but again, it's Kenny alone. There is some more banging to be done there, and I think that is that one and done. He doesn't have a kit on him. He's still looking. Oh, yes. There was a shot.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Very unfortunate for Shox that he did not see Nico behind the sandbags as the smoke was dissipating, because he could have actually gotten a triple kill there and really stopped the attack from FaZe, but wasn't meant to be. And this is very frustrating if you're G2, right? I mean, you lose pistol, you win the force buy, then you get deagled right back. First gun round, your player just dies, unfortunately, through the smoke. You could see how they felt the pressure of being a man down, right? You could see Kenny S flashing MBK in towards that toilets area to try and equalize the numbers, but FaZe was ready for it. They were just holding, and Alu punished him for that push. So let's see what Kenny can do with the AWP here. Rest of the team is going to be on the pistols. Seems like he's going for the aggressive peek towards Party. Party! Gets flashed and doesn't fall back. Falls back. Apex doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't.
Keep going, Yanko. Keep going.
That's what she said.
I don't know how to jump on the pipe in connector. I know, interesting segue, right? I don't know how to get on that pipe. You can just jump up there. You don't need to be boosted. But I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. But it's one place. And if you buy smoke, you go into connector, you throw the smoke off the wall, and get on that pipe. And then who knows what can happen? Maybe magic. Maybe magic can happen when you're on the pipe, Yanko.
Trying to get the pipe.
Well, it looks like it's another good, clean anti-eco so far. Or anti-eco type round, or anti-force by type round from FaZe here. They're looking to move to 6-1, and they have not even lost a single player yet. Shox might be able to change that though. Maybe not. G2 getting kind of crushed at the moment. This is not a good look for G2. FaZe looking to be undefeated. And that would be... Imagine if FaZe could create a situation where they're undefeated in by the end of the league.
In the European League.
In the European League. And that would never have happened before. And it's something that has not even happened in North America. And as you said, only SK were very close in a very dominant period for them when the NA scene was at its one of its weakest points. So
I'd give them a LAN spot at season 4 as well. Or a bye at the LAN finals of this season, season 3.
Bye to the LAN finals.
Just enough. Just enough. Nico looking to trade. Got to be careful though. Very fast is Nico. And there's a flash. And again, we've got the T's bursting through the deep smoke from the CT side. And that is exactly how it gets abused. So maybe FaZe playing on that short kill as well. Nico holding things down on short. NBK in a 2-on-2. Oh, okay. Rain from the side, possibly saving Nico. Kenny missing a vital shot there, and he can't go back for the second one. You only get one chance against Nico, and even sometimes that will fail. 7-1 in favor of FaZe.
And 0 and 7 for Apex. I'm not sure if this is also G2 being slightly tilted at this point, but you saw how Apex were just rushing out of connector, jumping out. I mean, that's a bit reckless, all things considering. The FaZe still had a lot of players left. They still haven't pushed all the way into the bomb site. You maybe feel that if he was a bit more patient, he could have gotten a kill there, maybe shot Nico in the back. This way he kind of just threw his life away. Shox as well after that initial kill, sticking around. I mean, can't really, as I said yesterday, it's easy to be a general after the battle, James. And a great explosive play just all around from FaZe, that pop flash towards Monster. got the trade kill immediately. I think it was on body. And that's one of the main strengths of FaZe. They're just really adapted, switching the pace, always keeping their opponents guessing, being very, very aggressive across the map.
Awkward terrain. You can see him backing up there because, again, he was very susceptible to the double peek there if somebody was on the high ground. So that was a super awkward fight from him. And again, he moves back into safer grounds as soon as the kill is confirmed. Lots of little things happening in Counter-Strike. The CTs have repositioned their final 3 players towards the A side. They've got to set up. They've got some kind of crossfire on A. They continue to move. You see Kenny playing the blind spot, which is often checked for. That's what the Molotov was for. The Molotov has gone too deep. I don't know if FaZe can identify that from their position. But however, they are rotating to B anyway. And Rain will soon find that it's probably clear, and they'll be good to go.
Compared to some of the stuff we've come to expect out of these two teams, G2 have not been able to get too much done on these rounds lately, which is nice for FaZe. Their money must be completely outrageous at this point. It must be absurd. It's getting to that point. Just picking off the remaining players. Now that's the round over and done. 8-1 the scoreline now as FaZe continue their dominance. And G2, they really need to start turning things around at this point. And I'm curious what the plan is to do so. Kenny S, is he going to try to push towards the fountain? Has got a spawn with which to get himself out there for some aggression. He does have Apex with him as well for some support. Let's see what happens. As Apex goes down to the connected position, just tossing in an incendiary, just making any progress from the T slow, any flanking attempts slower by the nature of that incendiary. And indeed, Kenny S does look over the smoke for an early pick-off. Shots going all the way around as well. So very, well, committing very hard to this aggression on G2. All the A players are pushing for that. But now after making the frag, they're backing all the way up. Apex easily takes down Rain. G2 a step ahead in this round so far.
That's Apex's first kill in the game. So some pressure away, but I think they've played enough games where it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things if they have 0 for a while. 5 versus 3 at the moment. Carrigan dropping a smoke on the wooden boards on the platform. The makeshift platform on the B bomb site. Now, Alu's making his way towards the A site, but again, there are no picks on either side. There's no real advantages to be had here for the FaZe clan. They're in front of A with 50 seconds on the clock, but again, Alu's pretty much going to have to move into a picking situation, and Kenny's got the angle, but misses the shot. He's missed a few shots today. That does not bode well for G2 in the remainder of this game. He has repositioned, but again, FaZe don't have any picks in this round.
That's a pretty big deal. It's very quick entry frags there, simultaneous entry frags, and that's a very good plan here for FaZe to play off of. It's one of the hardest plans to deal with, and the CTs have to basically stick on it. Oh dear, that was almost a team kill there. It's a slice, just slice and dice. The player's very weak. Kiyoshima coming out for shocks. Having to go back onto the bomb now. MBK. Kiyoshima just has to spot this. Actually goes for the wide peak almost and taking down MBK. Ready for the defuse. Another round won by FaZe. 9-1. Yanko, what the hell's going on, Yanko?
That's my line. Actually, that's James's line.
It's James' line that you say all the time.
Yeah, I just say it all the time because I don't have my own lines then. But yeah, on top of everything, it just seems like G2 has not showed up today at all. I mean, that was a 5v3 situation, and still they can't hold FaZe back. They have been outplayed to an extent in, you know, positioning strategy, sure, but even with that, you do expect more from the likes of G2, and that's not happening. As we see another situation where they're a man down early. They are going to try to recover, getting control of water. But hey, FaZe, at least on overpass, has been very good today at playing with advantages. They are playing very disciplined once they're a man up. They don't really allow refrags to happen. they don't fall for the aggressive moves of G2.
1 minute on the clock, and G2 are awaiting their fate. Kyoshima still lurking outside of B, but the focus appears to be A for the time being. Shox now being active as he always is, whether they're ahead or behind. Is in short B, sees that nobody is there, has a look through the tunnel, sees that nobody is in view at the very least. Rain taken down, but Karrigan will punish Shox, and you do wonder if that will bring the focus towards the B bomb site. The bomb needs to get picked up by one of these players. Karrigan looks to be moving down connector. Someone's got to pick it up. There are 30 seconds on the clock. You do wonder about the focus now. NiKo taken down towards A, but Ali's going to run in there and trade. Where is the bomb going? Kyoshima still outside the B bomb site, and there's Ali picked off on A, so I think the decision's been made for them, but NBK is already moving in on the B bomb site. 15 seconds, and Karrigan has to be successful here. Kyoshima, is he going to check the barrel position? No, because it's desperate for time. So smart from NBK. What a transfer as well.
Funny detail, that last round looks like Apex had his silencer off on his M4, and when he shot, it had the sound of a silenced M4 being shot. Very weird.
That is a money play from NBK.
Yeah,
money
it's glorious.
Maybe it was a graphical bug, but yeah, great play from MBK. FaZe, I'm not sure if it was supposed to be an A fake from the start, but Kyo was on that very long lurk. If it was going to be an A hit, he should have just been with his team so they could secure the site. But regardless, we see another fast play from FaZe out of Monster.
Straight in, straight entry frag onto body, smoked off and out of position from the barrels now. MBK still doing so much damage there. 2 quick kills for him as he goes to 3 versus 3. And this is a lot about delay. There's a really big rotation coming from Apex. He will eventually get there onto the flank, but it's all about whether the CTs can hold on with the likes of Shox. And the answer to the question is no. Frankly, they cannot. Apex will arrive, but now he doesn't really have the distraction to play off of. Will they be able to respond to him in time? The FAMAS, though, as well. Not too much going in Apex's favor, and Kyoshima will just snap him down. That's the 10-2, G2 getting reset.
You're getting reamed out, not reset. To be honest, at this point, it's just a field day for FaZe, basically.
Maybe G2 woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I haven't said that in years.
I don't think they woke up at all.
Perhaps it's all a simulation.
Not again.
FaZe versus an ill-equipped G2 in this round. Apex up close with the 5-7. Again, it can be awkward for the T's to flash long A when people are close. They might go behind their heads. If they're too close, then people who are around the toilets may not get flashed so much. But the 2-man push works out for G2. Body picking up Kyoshima. Apex looks away from the close flash, but he can't look away from the headshots. So very aggressive smoke from G2, which will burn some time on the clock. It's a good 18 seconds wasted. Rain will be patient though. G2 will try to force FaZe into another push on ill timing, as we saw in the previous rounds. Kenny with the last smoke now for G2.
Moving slowly towards that B bomb site now. FaZe in position to split. It's only Shox, but he has an AK. What can Shox do here? Looking for Monster first. He's the shadow. Great flash in though, and that's going to be Shox fully blind. I think that's a flash from Body even, and full blinding Shox. He did get the frag anyway, but still, not very much left of the team now. Body running in past the smoke, able to catch Alu off guard. Swap out for the AWP. Body now looking to get the next kill. It's going to be a tough one. The T's have scattered. They've dispersed. They're hiding. They're forcing the CTs deep into these crossfires, into these positions where they are in unfavorable engagements. Body with a big spot. Oh, that's a fantastic connection, but still, trade is there for NiKo. And that's another round for FaZe. 11-2 now.
Good setup at the end from FaZe. Instant trade from NiKo. He becomes the bait. Well, he knows it, but there's only so much you can do with that, against that rather, especially with an AWP. So perfect timing from NiKo. Body unable to shoot. Even if he pressed Q, I don't think his gun would have come out fast enough for a pistol shot. Second last round, and G2 on the eco again. Extremely dominant half from the T side from FaZe. B stack from G2 with their USPs and P50 Body on the Deagle. Speaking of which, there's a shot from him and he's picked up an AK. And the AK will quickly and promptly be dropped. Now Kirishima can just keep an eye on that with the occasional look towards Monster as well. But you may not see NBK pick that up. So, as far as he knows, the gun could still be there. Anyway, he'll make his exit as his team approach A.
Bosch. It's left Bosch. Apex and MBK left. Apex with a flashbang. And, well, a USP. Not too much to do with that. MBK looking to save the AK-47 into the next round. Maybe get some, maybe find Ali and take his AWP away. I doubt that's going to happen though, but maybe he can get away with the the AK-47. Really bad day for G2 so far against FaZe. It is always nice though to see a team that just has dominance, just has, even against great opposition, is able to just have this like streak of dominance. I remember various eras, for example, I remember a time when Fnatic were 26-0 online. I think it was 26-0, something like that online. Back in the days.
All the wins and 0.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? Even the AK-47, a small consolation taken away from MBK, would have made quite the difference too for the grenade situation for G2. They don't have much money for that. As you can see, you're lacking flashes, lacking incendiaries, and only 1 kits. FaZe looking to make it 13-2.
Just worth noting, of the 2 rounds that G2 have won, one of them was the Deagle Ace on a force fire by NBK. So that shows how tough it's been for them to win those rounds. FaZe moving into a B burst. Again, you've got the deep smoke, but that might help them at this point. Hurricane coming up before the flash is deployed, and the flash will not flash. His body should have definitely been flashed from that angle. Either way, it's down to the 2-on-2, and both CTs are coming in from the back.
Great stuff from Body there on the initial push, but it's down to this 2-on-2. Shox and Apex make their way in now, up against a Nico and Ali. That looks quite good so far. Just Nico left now. Good pick off from Shox. The bomb has a ways to go, so Nico perhaps looking to make the kills happen here. Oh, that Molotov could be money, but he can't get the angle for it. Apex punishes him, and the defuse comes in. And that's going to be 3 rounds for G2, 12 for FaZe at the end of the first half. G2. What do you say about that one?
It was 11-4 on Nuke, right?
Yeah.
So G2, over the course of 2 of maybe the most city-sided maps we have, only managed to win 7 rounds out of 30. And out of those 7, 2 at least have been just force buys with pistols, if not 3. So only like a couple of gun rounds.
3, yeah.
They were able to win over the span of 30 rounds. Just tells you how they're being outclassed at the moment by FaZe.
Rain currently has a 100% headshot rate.
What?
In that half.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Get right.
He is perfect. And there he is, admiring the worn grass in the playground, while terrorists emerge towards an A site where they wish to plant a bomb.
Nico's on the A site though. DSP in hand. There is one, and the trade comes in promptly. Rain, Karrigan, Kirishima, the trio of FaZe players left, looking to retake A, and now there's only 2. Karrigan coming in from Bank now. They know where he is, and they likely know where Kirishima's coming from too, but it doesn't matter all that much. The bomb is planted for the toilets area. Really hard situation for the CTs. No kit, all kit picked up and now dropped, and so has Kiyoshima been dropped. And that's a very, very needed pistol round from G2. Perhaps an uncommon pistol round against FaZe.
Opportunity knocks. That's a great pistol round for G2 to win. FaZe from on 12 rounds. Those 4 rounds may be difficult to attain, especially after losing the pistol. So despite the horrible half from G2, that 3 rounds in the pistol give them a lot of opportunity. But again, their margin for error is small. But I think that will definitely give them a mental boost, and they'll be fighting strongly to give FaZe their first loss in ECS Season 3. Rain fighting to retain that, and continuing with his 100% headshot rate. See how long that lasts. 4 CTs remain, looking to do yet more damage to the G2 side. Split up at the moment are the French. Currently pretty much all on their own, flying NBK with the UMP to take out Kiyashima. No Kevlar on the remaining players. Alu close to toilets, perhaps he can feed some information to his teammates as the T's move into B.
Yeah, great forward position from Shox, and MBK combines. Nico with the Beagle. Can't get himself a connection. The time may have passed now, he's on 8 HP. And there's one going down, and the round over. G2 converts. And now FaZe. It's time for an eco. Time for Nico. Might see a PT50 or something like that, a flashbang on Nico. But beyond that, likely not going to see too much.
Curious where Carrigan goes with the HE grenade. I would guess Monster, or even Short B. Short B could be an idea later on in the round, but my first guess would definitely be the Monster tunnel. But there'll be no one venturing there. Indeed, Shox is making his way towards Short B, so all the HE go in that direction. It will. Massive damage done, but can he follow up? The USB coming in, he's peppering, but a P250 will clean things for Shox. Everybody alive for FaZe at the moment. Shox will go down with 3 kills and another headshot from Rain. He just continues to deliver headshots.
Alright, so another somewhat uneventful anti-eco round from G2. They convert 6 rounds for G2, 12 for FaZe. And now the big buy comes in from both teams. We get the AWPs and play the big boy guns. And because of the way that FaZe bought, they have a lot of grenades. And Alu can afford armor, Kevlar, with his AWP. So it's a good distinct difference, or a difference that should be noted. Because a lot of teams on the CT side, they invest perhaps, I would say, a bit too much. And you can't get a buy like that. So... Oh wow, look at the aggression here, just going through Monster. Shox is ready for that, just eats Carrigan alive.
Carrigan looking to continue the mental dominance, just charging around regardless of roles on the map, roles or sides. I'm seeing more players stand on the rail where NBK is, as opposed to being in the ditch, or sewers if you will. That water is disgusting. I mean, let's just take a moment. Look at it just slowly moving. That's literally just sludge and poo, isn't it? It's poo. Anyway, standing in there, we never saw the Bardolph flashbang on Molotov play. It needed to happen, man, but it never did. It's a great play from Nico to even the numbers, but how much information has he got from that?
Yeah, that's the thing, like, having a player there doesn't really tell you much. Could be even a lurker with the entire T side moving A, so it's interesting. But now Rain has all the information, spots one more. Players from G2 are pretty scattered at the moment. Now coming into B with what's left of the lineup. Nice entry from Shox, but Kiyoshima's close. The spray not quite finding the mark quickly enough, and Shox will finish off Alu in swift succession. Nice round from Shox. He is coming alive to hopefully resuscitate his team.
Nice 4K from him. Rain is no longer on 100% headshot rate. FYI. It took 19 rounds, but finally he is slightly off that percentage. And now they're on the pistol, so maybe he can crank it up again with the Deagle. He's been good so far, as many players have been with the Deagle as of late.
Except you.
Except Bardolph.
Aggression for the pistols, they're getting some damage in, but... Ooh, I thought that was the lineup there. That would have been pretty awesome to see that. It's been a while since I saw a double with a Deagle. A double Deagle.
Have you ever seen it?
I have.
When?
I can't remember.
So
I know I've seen it.
You cannot confirm that you have seen it.
We've seen it all by this point, Yanko. We have seen it all.
A jumping double from cold. You saw
Seen
that
that as
one.
well.
I
Yeah.
saw that one.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Two pistols left for the CTs. they could do some damage. 3 of these 4 players can get 1 digged in the chest, and they're done. They are donezo. And FaZe don't have much to lose. They might end up positioning themselves for exit frags, but if they just move in and try and do some naughtiness, do these players are naughty, then they could make things very expensive.
In your face. That's the name of Kio's Deagle.
It's a good one.
Is it?
It's a good one.
Come on, guys. I'll never forget. Oh, who was it? I think it was Envy on overpass versus then Dignitas, MSL's team, for a major qualifier, and Envy were on Deagles, and all of the Dignitas players were low, and ran in and just got 1 digged in the chest, and that round pretty much lost them the qualifier, if I remember correctly. Do you remember that?
No.
I remember that because
Vaguely.
because I was a Dignitas fanboy, and I wanted to see them qualify, and that was the era of constant, almost but disappointment, ultimate disappointment.
Look at them
And that
now.
was brutal to watch.
Just like now.
4 rounds between the 2 sides, both teams back on the bye. G2 have closed the gap to 4, and now we've got a fight on our hands.
Rain pushing, getting his Kirby on. Something Kirby likes to do. Although Kirby pushes actually a bit further, he gets closer to the wall and plays the bait with his teammate. Oh, Shock's looking for that one. His spotter placement sublime. And great flash work here from G2. Ready for aggression. Absolutely ready. And I think the round's over, guys. I think G2 have won the round in the first 20 seconds. Or 30 seconds. There you go.
Well then.
Shocks finally woke up, and that's a dangerous sign for FaZe clan here. I mean, the first 2 gun rounds, they lose them because they go for aggressive plays, and it just doesn't pay off. We saw it. First gun round, Shocks punishing Kerrigan for that monster push. This time around, they get punished for the fountain push, basically. And aggression is actually even needed, not just welcomed on the CT side of the overpass, but you wonder, you know, once you lose 2 gun rounds by being aggressive, you wonder maybe we should take a step back and see what happens when we actually play passive. Or not as aggressive.
Ali with the Nova Kevlar. I really want to see that get into action. I think NBK is in the connector area. So that's a nasty range as well. Oh!
It's a bad miss.
That's a bad miss. It's a bad miss. From that range, doing 50 to Apex. I do wonder. It's a nice headshot from Kiyoshima, but only 2 FaZe clan members remain. Body, will he dispose of one of these weapons? Maybe it'll be thrown over the fence, although if you're on T-spawn in Inferno, you cannot dispose of weapons. It's impossible. It is literally impossible.
Something that tilts you very much, James.
I just want to know why. Nico, he's in a 1 versus 3 with a deagle and no helmet, so he's probably going to win.
Well, if you could throw the gun at T-spawn, you could throw the bomb as well.
No. Not necessarily, no. There are different, you can make different limits for different types of items in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am sure we have more pressing matters than not being able to throw weapons in T-spawn.
No,
right now,
I'll make a video if I have to.
Oh, sorry. What a badass over here. I'll make a video if I have to.
See? You can always see it in your mind's eye after that round on Cash. Nico on a deagle. Hope and a dream, wing on a prayer. 12 to 10.
Double up setup for FaZe. We'll see what they decide to do with it. Will they keep being aggressive? Nico on B with the second op. Oh, they're going for the boost. They want to counter what Shox is doing and how he took Nico's head off the previous round, but Shox goes back to that monster position. And we see G2 again with a very defensive default. They don't want to get picked off early. Something that Astralis is very strong at as well on overpass with their default.
Nico looking for something here. The boost is good. And that's going to be very annoying to lose MBK in a connector, as now Apex has to come down, and unless they want to move other players from Monster to Sewers, they don't have a super strong split moving in for them, but two players are what rests on the B-bomb side here. It's Carrigan by the pillar, and he'll win the first 1v1. That's Apex down. No one else coming from that angle, and you can see why it's problematic to have only one. No area correction. Kiyoshima still playing by water, buying time here for his team. Just Kenny S now left alive. Kenny has a hell of a job on his hands. At 1 versus 3, 30 seconds to go. Another whiff shot, and he won't get an opportunity to fire too many more. 13 to 10. FaZe finally getting back in here with a rounds. Let's see how long this can continue. Though. Look how long it's been. In fact, it's their first round of the half.
Look at those CT rounds, though. Nobody can defend on overpass today, it seems.
Interesting that Keo was not able to recover the second op. Now Kerrigan is playing with the UMP, Nico back on the M4. AWP now solely rests in Alu's hands. For the CTs, G2 a bit more aggressive towards the mid area, as we see FaZe assert control of water. On the other side, G2 is taking control of long. So this is that game of cat and mouse, chess, mice. As you see Rain get not a double kill, only one 4v4 situation now, and FaZe needs to rotate back towards A.
Lots of time on the clock for G2 with which to push, and indeed we've got a 3-man rotation, or at least Alu's backing off with the AWP to longer range, but we've got 2 guys on A now, and maybe indeed a third is coming for FaZe. So what are G2 going to do? Carrigan has made his way into short B. There's no one in connector for G2. 50 seconds on the clock. And the unknowns are quite significant for the French side, so they may feel committed here. Just biding their time, perhaps suggesting a rotation to the CTs, but they are purely waiting. Kenyes's back is not quite covered, but Apex is doing the best he can, all things considered. We've got the jump peaks coming in, being looked for occasionally, and indeed, Shock's going on a fact-finding mission, but again, with no map control, it's going to be really hard.
Alu, nice defensive kill there. The second one comes in from Nico. Now BK has it all to do against 4. Flash, bang, out, and he's not going to get enough time to draw his weapon again, as 14 rounds are now there for FaZe. Have they stopped the streak of rounds? Well, they have stopped the streak of rounds, but have they stopped the ability for G2 to get back into this one? G2 still have an ample amount of cash left with which for them to buy and have whatever they want to execute, whatever plan they want.
I mean, that was a big gamble from FaZe. They had 4 players towards the B-bomb side. Rain was by himself in a forward position in toilets. Fortunately, he gets 1 kill, and not just that, G2 does not decide to push straight away after that kill, which in turn allows FaZe to make the rotate, stack the A-bomb side, Kerrigan in a forward position in case G2 wants to go back, can make a call in time. As you see, Keo from that water position gets the kill, but Shocks pushing short, gets 2 kills by himself. Apex thinking his way towards A. And he missed Rain as well. This round is very strange.
Yeah, it's going to be really weird, especially that Kiyoshima is in short B. How far will he push? Because, okay, Kenny's walking, and there's the opening kill onto short B for Kiyoshima. Apex not having a good day. Eventually gets that one. Rain now last man standing, so let's see what this means for the cash on the CT side if they are to lose this round, because, well, they've got 4 rounds to play with, and you can see, okay, they could come in for a buy, especially if Rain saves. I think he picks something up. Then he'll make his exit in a 1 versus 3. Shock's doing great work there. I don't know, I was wondering if the communication was there at first when Kiyoshima got the pick into connector, but I think he might have just chosen to charge into the site and get a second kill. Not really sure, but either way it works out for G2 in this round, and they move to 11 rounds.
Not exactly sure how Keo missed Shocks, but that absolutely caught Nico and Kerrigan by surprise. Shocks was able to completely open up the bomb site despite losing his life to Keo afterwards, and also the miss on the A bomb site where Apex managed to sneak behind Rain and get Alu in the back.
In the back.
Really sealed the deal for G2. And now FaZe has to eco.
Yeah, Shock's waking up really made all the difference. It's just like night and day, isn't it? Night and day. See him there at the top of the scoreboard. So at the moment, just waiting for any of the aggression that could very realistically come from the pistols, but FaZe just trying to play the close ranges. Kiyashima, if he is able to win this battle against MBK, then pick up the AK, it would be scary, but MBK wins this battle for now. Still though, there is Rain who's playing off of Alu at the moment towards the toilets, actually the A-long side, and that's not actually where G2 are going at the moment. They're hanging out by a connector, trying to eliminate Carrigan, who find him eventually. MBK with another frag in connector, and that's just Rain left. So just systematically wiping out FaZe, unable or FaZe to make any plays with their pistols. And there you have it, another round for G2. And it starts to get really close here between these two teams. And G2 though, they have economic superiority.
Nico needs to pick up the AWP. He's trying to pick it up. There we go. So Alu doesn't lose his spawn. Very forward spawn. That's an important detail. Again, you don't want to run back for your AWP when you have a spawn where you can get an aggressive pick. But let's see if his spawn pays off for him. Spots a player moving towards playground. So that's some info for the team. And that will change the CT positioning early. In fact, they're moving back to middling position around the toilet area. Not quite passive, but not as forward as they might have liked. And indeed, they will continue to retract to the site. So seems to have a read that there's going to be a big play towards A. We'll see if they can get into position in the meantime. Not sure if Apex would have seen Rain. That's the bomb spotted, though.
That was a great snap from Alu. And G2 have forced FaZe to respect their play, their ability to just root out the aggression early on from the CTs. Ooh, that was very close there. Playing with fire. Have to be very careful, Alu. Picks off another one. Body going in as the bomb drops again. Rotation is going to be fully coming in right now for FaZe, as Alu still holds this position with the smoke there to play off of as well. Things get better actually, and better here for the FaZe clan. G2 have to commit here with that bomb being so forward, and now it's just going to be about hitting these shots, and that is what FaZe are doing at the moment. The Shox is going to make his way onto the scene. He has Kenny S waiting still patiently on long, looking for that opening. Still 30 seconds to go to plant the bomb. They have to move soon now onto that plant. They've got to force the action. And FaZe know that. FaZe know that that could be their opportunity to catch G2. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Shock's caught on the peak. Kenny S with a flick that just won't connect now. And things get so incredibly desperate. 13 seconds to go. Kenny S goes close. Shotgun mode with the AWP. Not quite going to connect, but it will for Alu. 15 to 12. FaZe now one away from taking map 2.
Double ops coming out for FaZe in what could be the last round. We'll see if they can hold it down. Alu going again towards the A site. And Carrigan will be headed towards B. Always nice to see Carrigan picking up the AWP. Kenny on the AWP as well. A good buy for both teams in this round. The flash will force Alu away. But Rain is staying closer in the toilet area. Shox again. His crosshair placement was perfect last time. CT sailing into his sights. And there's Kishima taken down with a short B push. Early advantage for G2. Can they crush the economy of the CT side? The flashbang's not enough for Rain to get any kills.
Now they're looking to save the day. In come the G2 players, gets the first frag, but the immediate trade, MBK too deep. With no support, Ali can't do much more than one. Carrigan going for a quick peek. Nothing to find though. Nico trying to work his way out of connector. That means both Carrigan and Nico have had their positions spotted, which really does lower the chances that they can do anything, and they realize this. Falling back in a way, trying to save their weapons. Their economy is ruined now. It is ruined. And with this round win, G2 could realistically bring this to overtime now. It's a very realistic chance for that.
An interesting decision ahead for FaZe. They will have an AWP and an M4 saved. What does the rest of the team do? Do they force up to go for 2 buys in a row, or do you eco next round so that you can have an okay-ish buy? But they're all on 15, 1600. Even if they save now, in the next round they're going to have 3400, which is not enough for M4s and armor. It's going to have to be UMPs, pistols, shotguns, so they do decide to eco, and it's going to be up to Kerrigan, not just to potentially make something happen in this round, actually to probably try and save this AWP for the following round if he doesn't find an early opening. Misses Kenny S and decides to fall back for now as the rest of the team is setting up for a long push.
Nice shot from
Classic
Kenny.
grenades over the top though to the DT to basically crush any of these aggressions, and they've been so consistently good at this, and that was the start really to comeback for G2 as well. And as Jakob said, you've got to keep this off alive. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. Oh man, this is weird, isn't it? So look at their money. It sucks.
Absolutely sucks. FaZe. Can they keep the clean sheet for another day? Can they keep the 0 in the loss column? Obviously, if they lose this round, it's overtime, so chances will continue. G2 don't want to be losing a second match here to FaZe, especially after the dominant performance from their opponent on Nuke. If you missed it, it was a very one-sided affair.
This is a very difficult situation for FaZe because with limited utility you kind of need to go for aggression, and aggression has not been working for them so far. Shox very aggressive towards short, decides to chill out behind sandbags, which is a strong position, not just because of the fact that he's so far up. As we see, Rain catches MBK in the back, but also Shox in that position can get a lot of sound cues and make good calls for his team. Let's see if he can make something happen. Has been on fire in this second half.
Kerrigan by the barrel, Kishima by the pillar, but no kill for the Frenchman. Kerrigan playing around the site now, see if he can stop a bomb plant. Body just running straight through the smoke there. Maybe he thought the flash was good, but it wasn't good. Apex, he's in the red. Kerrigan is continuing to make a nuisance of himself. In the meantime, Shox is in the CT water, but where the kill's going is turning into madness. And it's Apex alone. He's got 2 kills so far, but he can't get the last one. Absolute bedlam on the B bomb site, and somehow FaZe take it 16-14. They keep the clean sheet. No losses so far in ECS Season 3.